All right, everybody. Think we're ready to go? Let's all have a bit more of a mentality like Amanita Glassworks, who just said, "Don't let these guys get to you, Daddy Morj. I'd crawl naked through broken glass just for the chance to wait 40 minutes for your streams." That's the right mentality. That's how everybody should come in thinking, in my opinion. I have half a mind to make Amanita Glassworks a mod for that, but I have a feeling that they would rather work for that honor. I've been back from the card shops. Has already missed super chats. What am I? Why are people super chat? I'm not even here. Why are people super chatting before I even show up? What am I supposed to do about that? All right, let's see. John Ross says, "Guys, hit 2x speed on the video and you'll skip to the part where he shows up. It's like Future Sight. Don't ask how it works. I don't make the rules." This is true. If you do 2 times speed on the live stream, you get to see what people in the future see. It's just the way it works. YouTube's technology is absolutely amazing. All right, let me see what this other super I missed is. Guys, this is going to be a very, 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 very exciting stream. Possibly the most exciting stream of all time. Why is that? Because pretty soon, we're going to talk about the chapter. The chapter obviously featured a certain character, Shanks. All right? So about partway through the stream, we're going to be taking a look at some of the promotional material for Film Red. The promotional material for Film Red that I haven't really looked at past the first initial teaser that came out. Okay? And whatever the first one was that showed Uta, basically. And why is this exciting? Because Film Red is exciting. Everybody get very excited about Film Red. I, for one, have not been able to stop thinking about it. John Ross says, "You're late. I demand a refund for this super chat." This is what you wanted me to go back and check. I've been back from the card shop. These are the super chats that I so desperately had to look at. All right. Marcel Bean says, "I'm surprised you're 26. Yeah, because I look like I'm like 21. All right. Oh, and I'm going to pin this to the top before I forget. Morgon Leashed, the channel where all stream highlights inevitably end up. It is the best out of all of the current existing Morj channels. Everybody go check it out when you get a chance. So, we're going to be talking about Film Red in a little bit. All right? Exciting stuff. Every night I lay awake just thinking about what's going to happen in that movie. I can't stop. It's an obsession. I need this movie to come out so bad. I just want to watch Film Red so bad. Bhavan says, "Brago said the audio is fine, but don't worry." Is Brago here? What's Brago doing here? He's not here. You guys lied to me. That's cool. Behenort says, "What if Yonko versus Admirals versus Commanders is like the Monster Trio dynamic? If Luffy greater than equals Zoro greater than equals Sanji, what if Yonko greater than equal Admirals greater than equals Commanders?" I'd say with the way that Green Bull fucked up King and Queen so casually, I highly doubt that to be the case. There's a video, funny you bring that up, although power scaling discussion has obviously gone, power scaling discussion has obviously ramped up a little bit in recent times, right? And I think that tomorrow's video, I don't know if it's going to be controversial or not, but I have a big power scaling video coming out tomorrow. So you all just look out for that. Flame Emperor says, "I'm legit wondering if Oda still has plans for Jack. We didn't see him fight Green Bull, but he was referenced last chapter." Oda doesn't have plans for Jack. Come on. Get out of here. Flame Emperor says, no. We just addressed that. All right. Last chapter was the promotional material. Okay, so there was some Uta shit at the start of that chapter. I actually skimmed straight past that. Because I was like, this isn't part of the chapter. This is just some Film Red propaganda. Sheriff Lafitte says, "Do you think the Marines are tiered like a Yonko crew with each admiral's like one, first, second, third commander? Obviously stronger though." I think pre-time skip we all got the sense that the admirals were all roughly comparable to each other, and it felt pretty even. Like a lot of it was just portrayal. Oda. Like he portrayed them as a trio very frequently. Just the way. It's hard to explain. Like, small things like, okay, they're all sitting lined up together. They're all standing up, stopping Whitebeard's attack. all three of them standing in front of Luffy. It just felt like they were all meant to seem very comparable to one another, and this was somewhat confirmed when Akainu fought evenly with Aokiji for all that time. So I think that that's roughly correct, but in newer years, it started to feel more and more like Akainu, based on his role. Undeniably, over the course of Marineford, Akainu was the one that kind of got the most hype, just based on him having the most to do and him being the most active force in trying to fight Whitebeard and him taking on all of the commanders at once later towards the very end. So it did feel like Akainu was maybe being pushed a little bit ahead of the other two. Then we found out that Aokiji went even with him for a good deal of time, so it was like, okay, maybe that's not the case as much. I think at this point, what I've kind of subscribed to is that Akainu as Fleet Admiral is probably a step or half step above these other guys. Like, Akainu's not going to get done like Green Bull was this chapter. I just don't think that's the case. But I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Green Bull, Fujitora, Kizaru are all meant to be roughly close to one another. Like, I haven't gotten the sense that they have a 1, 2, 3 ranking as much, you know. Aztec Device says, thoughts on Twin Peaks or David Lynch? David Lynch, okay, so some of my favorite movies, Mulholland Drive for a long time was one of my favorite movies. I haven't seen it recently, so I don't know if I'd still put it top. It used to be like top 5 for me or something like that. I feel like it's still, I haven't done like sat down and been like, what are my favorite movies in a while, right? Like, what's my top 10 or something like that. I also just generally don't do mental rankings like that as much because my stuff changes pretty frequently, I guess, and my opinions shift pretty often. But Mulholland Drive is pretty up there. Beyond that, I don't think there's a movie of his that I really love. Like, Blue Velvet is good. Eraserhead is good for a one-time watch. Probably not going to watch that again, but it was really cool the first time I saw it. Twin Peaks I've not finished, so I don't have thoughts on Twin Peaks, and I've had enough spoiled for me that I'm not really going to... I don't know if I'm that eager to pick it back up. Ivan back from the card shop says, Little Garden was more dangerous than Wano. Yes, they were a lot more, significantly more worried. You'll find a much more concerned Luffy throughout Little Garden than you will in Wano. John Ross says, Blackbeard reveals the one devil fruit. This is one thing people don't understand, which is like stakes, like objective stakes versus what is the level of tension that the characters are feeling, right? Like, those are two different things. Objectively, yeah, obviously the stakes are going to be higher almost every arc with stronger villains, but just because you have objectively stronger villains, it's like, well, how are the characters feeling about it, right? Like, in Fishman Island versus Arlong Park, Straw Hats are much less stressed in Fishman Island than they were in Arlong Park, even though the Fishmen are not much stronger, right? It's just a different point in the story. Little Garden was stressful period of time for the Straw Hats. Nothing like Wano. John Ross says, Blackbeard reveals the one devil fruit is a lie. People can eat as many as they want. Sabo dies. Luffy eats the Marimaro no Mi. Dude, I don't know. Like, I don't know if, like, the answer to how Blackbeard can eat so many devil fruits is just that, well, you could all along, but nobody did. Because that just seems suspicious to me, because it seems like such an easily disprovable idea. It seems more like Marco implies that it's something Blackbeard specific, which I would prefer. JM Lou 11 says, love the vids, Morj. Did the Kaido plus Big Mom alliance matter at all narratively outside of the hype? I feel like the raid plays out the same way even without Big Mom. It plays out pretty much exactly the same way, except nobody fights Perospero. Okay, so that's a big deal. Law and Kid have no one to fight if Big Mom's not there, basically. Law and Kid have nothing to do. Sheriff Lafitte says, what if in the next chapter we see Raizo's remains at the shrine with Izzo and Ashura's, but no one mourns? I think we would know if Raizo's dead. Raizo's not dead, guys. Bobby the Blizzard says, Morj, could you please explain to my friend Matt? Could I please explain to your friend Matt? I have to explain it to a very specific person, it seems, this time. Why Yamato is poorly written compared to the Straw Hats. Simple. Yamato shows up with probably the most one-dimensional mentality we've ever seen, one-dimensional and naive mentality that we've ever seen of any character in One Piece that's like an actual main character, not just random fodder. She shows up, she's read a diary, okay, she has no life experience, she's literally read someone's diary and just decided that she needs to be exactly like them to a T, that she believes that she literally is assuming their identity and refers to herself as such, right? I'm Kazuki Odin. Says all sorts of weird delusional shit, like about her being Momonosuke's father and stuff like that. Basically is introduced with the most simplistic worldview possible. I've read this diary. I need to go out to sea. I need to be Odin because I have no life experience of my own, so I just need to copy all this, and I need to join Luffy, and Luffy's going to beat Kaido. That's everything that she thinks. None of this is ever challenged whatsoever over the course of the arc. She basically just plays that shit on loop for the rest of the arc, goes through zero character development, and we're at the end of this arc, and she has not changed one iota from who she was originally, and that can sometimes be fine, if not for the fact that who she was originally was, again, one of the most one-dimensional, flatly written, naive characters we've ever seen in the entire story. It's actually bizarre. Yamato's existence makes very little sense. If the simpler way I could put it is that if you just changed her character design to some like unattractive fat dude, would we like her character? Probably not at all. Warren Horshaw says, did Shanks' Haki burst undermine Momo's goal? No, I don't think so. It was more in spirit, I think. Not an NPC says, hey Morj, do you think Momo's, like, from what we can tell, Momonosuke is probably going to have to get stronger over time, and he's got such a high baseline based on the fruit that he has, and they're even commenting that, you know, he's grown into a strong adult body, so even though he doesn't have the fighting skills per se, he can probably do something with it, given some more training and things like that. And you know how the One Piece world works, shit moves fast. Remember Kobe day 1 versus Kobe as of Water 7, like, how many months was that, 2-3 months or something? Maybe, I don't know, it was a matter of months, but if Kobe can do that, then Momonosuke, he's working with basically the best material you could ask for, Kaido's Devil Fruit, and he's got, like, Odin's genes and shit like that, and, like, they were saying that he's got a strong adult body, whatever swordsmanship skill he may have kind of picked up as a kid. I don't know, it's hard to say, but I think that it's a good enough start. Like, Momo doesn't need to be able to solo an Admiral by himself, but I wouldn't be surprised if the next time we see him, after, you know, we take a break from these Wano characters or whatever, he's actually a competent fighter. Do you think Momo's a failure? More questions about Momo being a failure. Okay, hey Morj, do you think Momo's fruit is considered a failure because he doesn't possess a hybrid form, or he's just not figured it out yet? Yeah, again, I'm of the opinion that the next time we see Momonosuke, he will probably have a hybrid form figured out. Maybe he'll show the Dragon Devil Fruit awakening before Kaido did. Felix C says, have you been watching Better Call Saul? It's crazy. So, I am waiting for one thing for Better Call Saul. Breaking Bad was my favorite TV show of all time. I'm waiting for Better Call Saul to end. Once Better Call Saul ends, if it has a good ending, then I will watch all of it. I'll watch all of Better Call Saul, assuming it has a good ending. Because at the moment, I've just been burnt by too many TV series that start off strong, they're strong for a long while, and then they just drop off at a certain point. So I'm just not going to waste my time. You know, I don't want to get Game of Thrones this again. I don't got time for that. Behanort says, did TCB, my friend, give you the spoilers for this week? No. At least not that I've seen. I'll find, I've also muted 1056, since I started muting spoilers and stuff like that recently. I wasn't as much during the ending parts of the raid stuff because I really wanted to see, but now I've gone back to being like, okay, I can wait on, you know, the actual chapter and stuff like that. So I've gone back to muting. Justin Holland says Luffy and his 3 commanders weren't worried about an admiral, showing how far they've come from their first meeting with Aokichi. Yeah, it's wild to think in retrospect that people at the end of 1053 legitimately were saying, like, well, what if Green Bull shows up and fucks up the entire alliance? What if he's, like, stronger than Kaido? It's like, there's not a single character that we know of in the series that should be able to show up and single-handedly beat that entire alliance. Okay, Luffy solo just took on Kaido. There should not be a single character alive that can do that to the entire alliance, because if that's possible, then, like, everything we thought we understood about character strength in the One Piece world is completely fucked. Im might be the one exception if Im's just randomly crazy strong or something like that, final boss energy or whatever. But at the moment, I'm just like, you know. Fireboy Sanji says, Yamato's joining the crew, my guy, Cope LMAO. 2 things can be true. Yamato can be the worst written character probably in the entire series, and Yamato might be joining the crew. What else is there to say? I was told to explain to his friend Matt, it's like, it's not a W. It's like, not like a W if Yamato joins the crew. That's not proving me wrong in any way. That's just like a L for the series. Caleb Brown says, hey Moji I missed you. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing alright. Goomba Boomba says, okay, hear me out, Morjwin. Chapter 985, Yonko announced they're after ancient weapons. Now we see that Yonko fell underground, possibly near Pluton. Raid fail hope. Don't give me hope. I'm not even trying to think about anything like that. Hype Master says, why isn't he talking about Film Red? I'm trying to get my rocks off the fuck. We will talk about Film Red when it is time to talk about Film Red. Probably in a little bit. Sheriff Laffy says, Yamato should teach Nami Thunder Bagua. Yamato should teach Nami Thunder Bagua. I don't think Nami could learn that. Quiet Life says, imagine if Luffy had chosen Shanks as his first Yonko to beat. That would be hilarious. The entire Straw Hat crew would have been knocked out before even reaching his island, LMAO. Yeah, the Haki... Okay, I thought that the Haki scene from Shanks was one of the coolest scenes that we've had as of late. Even after everything that happened in the war, which had, lots of characters flexing, like, a bunch of abilities. Shanks' one panel of just showing off... Because he did it from so far away. Like, it's actually mind-boggling, right? We've never seen something like that. There's not a Conqueror's Haki feat that's even really kind of close to that, right? Up till now, I guess sky splitting was the standard for impressive Conqueror's Haki. I'd say, yeah, sky splitting, probably that was the standard. But this was like, you're scaring away an Admiral from more than an island away, right? Not even more than an island away. He's not even on he's not even on the waterfall or shit, right? He's how far away is he? That's absolutely insane. And to be able to let out enough that Green Bull's actually shaken, that's insane. Josh Nesbitt says, Morj Ehrmantraut. Is that some spoilers for Breaking Bad? Mike Ehrmantraut. Let's not spoil Better Call Saul or anything like that. Let's not do that here. Manifest Joe says, any thoughts on the latest One Punch Man? Mixed bag. I thought that the latest fight was really cool. I don't know how I feel about the resolution of everything. I think I like most of it. I also don't take One Punch Man too seriously, so it's, it's whatever. I liked it. I think I liked overall what happened. I think I didn't like a key thing that was established about Saitama's character that nobody else seems to be complaining about, that I think defeats the point of his entire character. But I'm not going to spoil that here. I think if you read the chapter, you know what it is. But there's something new that's established about Saitama's, like, One Punch Man's character that kind of takes away from the entire premise, and in my opinion, like, it means that we've been reading, we weren't reading what we thought we were reading, I guess, basically. And it takes Saitama a little bit away from being like, a gag character to more of like just a Mary Sue character that we all just have to accept, which is a little different. Abdul Majid Salah says, what's up with this audio is fine thing from Brago? I don't even know what you're talking about. Bill says, Momo joins crew to become stronger to lead Wano in future. Momo joins crew to become stronger to lead Wano in the future. Yamato stops being Odin and stays in Wano to protect it until Momo returns. Hashtag probably copium. That would be cool, but that's not based on... that's not super in line with what the characters were saying at the end of this last little scene. At the end of this last little scene, it seemed like Momonosuke is like trying to resolve himself to stay in Wano, lead Wano, protect Wano, etc. And Yamato's being pushed out. So, if Yamato heads out with the Straw Hat crew, it'll be rough, but, we deal with it. Sheriff Luffy says, Haki Man fighting style making a comeback. Haki Man fighting style making a comeback? Haki Man fighting style making a comeback? What does that mean? Oh, wait, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're talking about Shanks? Yeah, like, people back in the day had this vague notion. Like, people were like, well, how does Shanks fight? Doesn't he, like, fight with a sword? If he fights with a sword, then he's weaker than Mihawk and stuff. And people are like, no, Shanks is like a hockey specialist. He's like you're saying, like a hockey man. He does these weird hockey things and stuff. And everyone was like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? What does that even mean? But I will say it's funny that as of the latest chapter, I'm back on board the hockey man train. I'm like, it seems like Shanks his hockey's, I don't know. Like, who knows what he could possibly do with it, right? Because so far what we've seen Kaido, we've seen Luffy, Roger Whitebeard, we didn't get to see much of what they can do at their full potential. But even Whitebeard was praising Shanks' hockey. So I think at a certain point, it's like, when you realize that even what Kaido and Luffy were showing at Onigashima, even that wasn't really the ceiling or close to what the ceiling is for hockey, especially with Kaido implying that hockey is the end-all, be-all in terms of strength in the world, right? With that sort of realization, and then Shanks showing up and basically showing that, yeah, this, like, there's a higher ceiling up there, it does suddenly change. It provides a lot more potential for, what his full fighting style could be and what you could do with hockey. Let's see. Behanort says, what do you think of Crocomom? It's a funny idea. I don't think about it. I think it's a gag idea. But I think I kind of want to see it simply because of the implication that the MC has 2 dads, one trans and one possibly bi. People would freak out so much, LMAO. I mean, that's like a totally non-story related reason. I guess that's like just shaking what shonen manga readers are used to societally sort of reason. Sure, in that sense, that'd be interesting. But I think at the same time, it's like, I doubt that that's going to happen. Disaster Master says, if Oda doesn't close up Zoro's threads open in Wano, what do we need to see from Zoro in order to fully realize his post-time skip character? The trickier thing is that it's hard to identify any clear thread for Zoro post-time skip. I mean, there were multiple threads that were opened up over the course of Wano of like where his character could go, right? There's a lot of different things that were opened up over the course of this arc. But when all of them are kind of swept to the side, it's not even like there's like a clear trajectory. Right, so like you could say leadership. That's what he was talking about before we went to Wano, rounding up samurai. That's some of the quotes that he had over the course of Wano, especially talking to Hiyori. So it was like, okay, maybe something related to leadership, especially with Conqueror's Haki, which is in itself tied to being a king, being brought up so much this arc. It was like, okay, that's not that important. Then sort of this, to a degree, revenge or avenging plotline that sort of began to develop with him and Orochi, but it was like, okay, that's not that important. The romance with Hiyori doesn't seem like it's necessary or going anywhere, so it's really just for him to pick up Enma. So it's like, okay, that's not that important. And his past in Wano, right? So that was something interesting, him potentially being a former child of Wano. Why did he leave? Or like, what ship did he go off on? Why is it important that he's from Wano? Things like that. That was like, I wouldn't say that was even prominent enough in the story to even start a thread, really. It was kind of just like information being dropped about him that's not really ending up going up anywhere. So overall, I'd say that like it's hard to really say what if Zoro's had a thread or anything like that post time skip for him to develop as a character. Because I mean, other characters, there's like a more obvious things that have been developing. You know, like compared to Sanji, Robin, obviously starting with Zoe with Robin and like how she wants to give back to the crew and stuff like that, her gratefulness, etc., and then tying up in Wano. So there's some characters in the crew have been having like threads develop from start to finish or like over the course of post time skip. I don't think Zoro's had anything just yet, so we'll have to see. Akash Panda says Conqueror's Haki range comparison. Let's take a look. Well, these things can be biased, I guess, to a degree, because it's like, all right, I'll share it with you guys. I'll share what Akash Panda just shared. All right. You guys ready? Let me switch. All right. So, range of Shanks is Conqueror's Haki. Oh, I see what he's saying. So he's saying like this whole semicircle. That's assuming this assumes that it's all going out in like a circle, right? This is the range of Luffy's Conqueror's Haki. Is that established? How's that established? Do we know this is Luffy's range of Conqueror's Haki? How is it established to be this? Oh, I see. You're saying it's this. I should just be able to read the diagram. Yeah, but I think this is an assumption too, because like this doesn't indicate it's this whole full fucking circle, right? It doesn't like this seems like a huge exaggeration. I don't know if Luffy's whole Conqueror's Haki spreads this far in the first place. And I think that this may be an assumption about Shanks' Conqueror's Haki too, because like first of all, is it expanding in a full circle? Or is he just directing it this direction? You know what I mean? Because that's different. How close was the ship to the waterfall? Was it here or was it like here? I don't know. Also at the end, like I'm not trying to downplay Shanks' thing or whatever, like Shanks' feat, but like I think it's hard to make certain comparisons just based off of the limited stuff. And plus, I don't think Oda thinks about it that much. Like, okay, Shanks' range is like 2 kilometers, but Luffy's is like 500 meters or some shit. I don't know. I don't think Oda's thinking about it in those terms. Although Oda did once put out this thing where he said like, I was surprised he put this out. He said something like, yeah, Shanks and Rayleigh would have been able to knock out everyone at Fishman Island, whereas Luffy, or all, 100,000 that they were up against at Fishman Island, whereas Luffy could only knock out half of them. So it's rare, but Oda does like put out certain facts, like almost like numerical bounds to what a character can or can't do. But for the most part, he doesn't. Like, he'll be like, how far can Luffy stretch? He'll be like, 200 Gomu Gomus. It's like, what does that mean? Benjamin Lewis says, do you think Big Mom and Kaido take Pluton/Open Wano? I mean, I would love for something like that to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. Just because, if you'd asked me a while back when I was excited about the raid failing, I would have been like, yeah, that'd be awesome to see. But now that my spirits have been crushed by the raid not failing, everybody like the stream. Before I finish this train of thought, everybody like the stream. Let's all like the stream. Let's get it to at least, what's something reasonable? 600 likes. Let's get the stream to 600 likes. All right, let me continue where I left off. What was I saying? Something about Kaido and Big. Yeah, okay. Some small part of me is eagerly hoping that something like that happens, but it's such a small part that I don't even listen to it. Does that make sense? It's like, it's like not. The logical part of my brain has been like, no, we've been down this road before. There's nothing but pain down that road. Let's not think about Kaido and Big Mom getting back up. That way we'll be pleasantly surprised if something happens, but mentally I'm already moved on to Elbaf. I'm already on the next island. I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen there. Salborghini says, could Jack swim to Old Wano because he's a fishman or because he was swimming in rainwater, not seawater? Can fishmen with devil fruit swim still? So I think that my assumption is that it's seawater. It has to be seawater that stops you from being able to swim, right? Otherwise, it makes no sense why Jack is just able to do that casually. Because otherwise, it should just be like, they take Jack and they're basically just dropping him like a hammer, being like, all right, what do you see down there? He's like, fuck, I can't see. I'm just sink straight like a rock to the bottom. And if it's not in the exact spot where you all drop me, then I guess we won't find Pluton. But I don't think that... Yeah, I think that it's mainly going to be applying to, it mainly applies most likely to seawater, not freshwater. That's my guess. Can fishmen with devil fruit swim still? No, like we know they can't swim in the ocean. We saw Jack attempt to and he couldn't. Joe Mama says Yamato's on the crew. It's just true. Probably. Brandon King says Yamato will grow with outside experiences like Odin. Jose Lari says he thinks Saitama is bad, yet he loves Zoro. How are those two things even related? Saitama only works like, wait, what? How are those two things are not related whatsoever. What does that even mean? Saitama is a gag character. Like, it's two totally different things. The moment he stopped sort of being a gag character, I guess, which is like, they changed the concept of what he is with this latest chapter. And yeah, it just became no longer to me as much like, oh, he's a gag character, as much as like, oh, he's just a main character with a really, really broken ability, which you can say, well, there's no fundamental difference, but there is. It's just a difference in concept for what the story is. And it's a little harder for, like, I still don't take the series too seriously, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But it does change a lot of what, the concept of One Punch Man is at the very least. Brandon King says Yamato will grow with outside experiences like Odin. Shh. Like, what am I supposed to say to this? Because it's just like, okay, maybe this character becomes well written down the line, but at the moment, her joining the crew feels like the most unearned, like, character achieving their goal that we've ever seen in the story. It's like she's getting exactly what she wants with basically zero development or growth or anything required, or like any friction of any sort required to get that. Basically, it's like she read some stuff, she's like, this is it, this is my destiny, etc. And it's like, oh, I guess it basically is. Wow, it's kind of bizarre. Maybe she becomes well written at some point, but at this point in time, it's just like, right now I don't know why a single person would like the character other than her being, tall woman with big titties. Like, that's literally the only reason that makes sense to me, because again, if you read her dialogue, it's terrible, right? It's literally, I'm Odin, I'm Kazuki Odin. Hi, I'm Odin. I'm going to go out to sea and just have a magical time with everybody. So again, swap it with a different character. Fat dude with big titties. Do we still like this character? Probably not, right? So terrible dialogue for the most part. No character development, just been chanting this goal that she's gotten from like a microscopic little pea-hole sized view of the outside world. No development or whatever, no growth, No real character struggle, no character conflict, nothing. She's being rewarded by being put on the crew. Again, imagine, fat dude with titties. Are we liking any of this? Probably not. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And do we have people defending fat dude with titties being like, you know what, they're not a bad character, we like them. They'll get good character development in the outside world, even though this whole arc was basically about them and their core character story and background and what they're fighting for right here. And literally everything related to the character is right here. No, it's all being saved for the outside world. I hate when people compare Yamato to Robin too, because it's like, Yamato was clearly written in Alabasta to be very tangentially related to the conflict of Alabasta. This was not her core character conflict. That was the whole thing about Alabasta. It was building up the mystery of like, wait, who is this Nico Robin? What was her past? Why did she get this bounty as a child that's so big, that's comparable to crocodiles? What is she? Why is she talking about the Will of D? What is this dream of hers that she has? Why is she hiding information from Crocodile? What's her greater goals? It was very clear that she was basically a mercenary who had happened to come along and meet up with Crocodile, but her entire actual story and character conflict and character arc, etc., was being saved for something else, which is why she did not really join the crew in Alabasta. The most basic reading of the story tells you that she joined the crew, like genuinely with her heart joined the crew in Enies Lobby, which is very, very different than Yamato. Flame Emperor says, I wonder if something will happen to allow Tama to fulfill her dream like Momo did. I get the feeling her dream has to be addressed one way or another. Yeah, I mean, like, that might be an endgame type thing, you know? That might be an endgame type thing. I don't know if we're going to get to see... Javier Jill says, Morj silences those who oppose him, lol. What do you mean how do I silence them? What? I don't silence anybody. Let that be known. Everybody is allowed to chat in my chat. I have never banned or hidden anyone for disagreeing with me except for Oof. And that was a mistake, or so I say. Wait a sec. Are we seeing inconsistencies between the seawater versus freshwater situation? Are they not supposed to be able to swim in seawater or in freshwater either? In that case, how the fuck was Jack able to? Because the last we saw of Jack, maybe it was before Jack ate his devil fruit. Maybe they dropped him down there before he ate his devil fruit. I remember Oda explained something about like how devil fruit users don't suffer in the bath as long as they're less than 50% submerged. But are they bathing with seawater? Because that's nasty. Pickle God says, in the most recent chapter, it looks like Shanks is holding his sword with two hands. What do you think? I think he doesn't have two hands, so whatever it was probably a mistake. That stuff's happened before, and then they fix it in the volume release, I'm pretty sure. Christian Baraza says, in line with your Yamato crew comment, two things can be true regarding Momo. He can have the best arc in Wano and still be a little turd. Happy birthday, Morj. Yeah, I mean, I understand if people don't like Momo. I like him. I liked his arc. J.K. Kane says, will Momo's declaration to Yamato last chapter be the catalyst for her changing her mind by joining the crew and staying to protect Wano instead? No, like, if I'm being perfectly objective, it looks more to me like this is the kind of final thing that Momonosuke needs to be, like, secure in him staying in Wano, being the shogun, etc., and the final push for sending Yamato away and joining the crew. Yamato might join. Very well looks like it could be the case as of next chapter. So, I have to get used to that. Gotta gear up for that. I mean, it could be the other way. Maybe Yamato comes to her senses herself and realizes that, okay, I can't let little Momonosuke and like half the original scabbards basically try and take care of Wano when the Marines clearly want to come back here repeatedly. And maybe I could learn an actual lesson from Odin's story and stay behind and actually be the guardian spirit of Wano, like my fruit implies. And maybe I have to have a realization, or a change of heart, or an epiphany, or something like that. Maybe pick up from where Odin fell short and actually stay behind and help instead of going around sailing because I just want to. I don't know. That would be nice. Sheriff Lafitte says, kind of sad Nidai ended up being a bit pointless. Maybe Nidai shows up again in the future. Although I guess I am shutting down. Well, on the one hand, I'm like, maybe it's just some little world building that Oda dropped to have Nidai Kitetsu there as well. I don't know. Maybe Zoro loses a sword at some point, and then Nidai Kitetsu has to be shipped over to him or something. There was a good deal of focus on Nidai Kitetsu early on, so to me it's just like, maybe there was something planned there and then it was dropped. I don't know. But maybe it comes back later. Chris Howard says, if Yamato joins, does that make the Straw Hats OP? Yamato is very strong. She would obviously be top 3 in the crew, no question. Does it make the Straw Hats OP? I mean, there's the argument that they're supposed to be OP come this point in the story. But, I mean, they would be clearly a cut above what we normally expect of a Yonko crew at that point, right? Clearly a cut above. Because we saw what Zoro and Sanji did to King and Queen. Once they got their power-ups, so I'm not talking about the whole fight, but once they got their power-ups, it was a wrap. Like, it wasn't that hard for them once they got their power-ups. And I expect Yamato would be right there with them, pretty much. So, but they're supposed to be a Pirate King level crew, so maybe it's fine. Daniel Chukwudum says, will Carrot join if she eats the Yuki Yuki no Mi? At this point in time, no. I mean, at this point in time, I don't think so. Sheriff Lafitte says, I find it weird that Big Mom and Kaido are treated like they're just gone. They're demoted from Yonko, and no one cares about verifying that they're dead. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much verification you can get. It's interesting Green Bull was not interested in verifying either, but, like, I guess it makes sense. Like, you hear that they died in a pirates battle against other pirates, you know. There's no traces of them. Big Mom, okay, so the Zeus situation is interesting because people were talking about, you know, Zeus is still alive and doing things. So in that case, is Big Mom alive? I don't know. Do we have confirmation if that's how it works? I don't know. One thing that's interesting is that it seemed like Mother Carmel created Prometheus. At least that's what it looked like. It seemed like Mother Carmel created Prometheus, and then Prometheus was passed down to Big Mom. Or it's just a remarkably similar homie, because we also know that Prometheus is technically created from Big Mom's soul. So it's a little complicated there. I think the jury's out as to whether homies exist post their creator's death or not. Hawkeye Dragon says, did you see the Shimotsuki flag near Sabo in 1054? I did not. That's interesting. I'll take a look at that. Keenan says, given the nature of Toki's fruit, is it possible that at literally any point in time, someone could pop up from the past that was sent in the future by Toki or a previous user? Any chance this happens? That is a great point, Keenan. That is a great point. Because for all we know, somebody was sent to arrive this, like, tomorrow or something like that from the Void Century. That would be really, really, really cool. That'd be really cool to see. You know what would be wild? If Rox showed up. That'd be insane. If Rox just showed... Because Rox disappeared without a trace, right? Rox disappeared without a trace. What does disappearing without a trace mean? Was he buried under some rocks and lava like Kaido and Big Mom? What could have happened to Rox? It would be really cool if Rox was just teleported to the future and he shows up in Wano or something like that. That'd be so dope. But I doubt that that's actually what happened. Wouldn't that be cool, though? That'd be really cool. That'd be pretty cool. Imagine Rox showing up here. Can you guys imagine that? I like that idea, Keenan. Aztec Devices, my theory is that Kaido knows only the Shogun of Wano can control Zunisha and open the borders, therefore controlling Pluton. That's why Kaido was in Wano and wanted to make Yamato the Shogun. That's a decent theory. I only wish that we got that motivation fleshed out a little bit in the story. Maybe we do. But it's hard to say who would even know what the truth about his motivations are, because Yamato was really confused and questionable about it, so she doesn't know. It's hard to say if we'll ever get confirmation about what Kaido truly wanted, because he wanted several different things. Like, it was hinted that there's a lot of different things that he was interested in or after. Keenan says, I also wholeheartedly agree with you. If Yamato looked like Shinobu, nobody would like her, lol. Yeah, pretty much. Caleb Brown says, do you think Shanks dies to Blackbeard before meeting Luffy? Do I think Shanks dies to Blackbeard before meeting Luffy? Do I think Shanks... No, I think Shanks and Luffy meet, but I do think Blackbeard kills him afterwards. Goomba Boomba says, Zoe is 1 week travel distance away from How Border Open. Zoe is 1 week travel distance away, How Border Open. What do you mean? 1 week travel distance away, How Border Open. I mean, Zunisha just walked over, right? Zunisha's travel distance is a little different, right? Captain Face says, next time we see Kaido, maybe with... Like, Zunisha's travel time is probably a little different. Captain Face says, next time we see Kaido, maybe with Pluton in the magma pit, the reason it wasn't found in underwater Wano was because it is even lower in Mount Fuji. Look, that would be cool. That would be cool. Would be cool. I'm just not going to think about it. I'll just always say, yeah, that'll be cool, but I'm just... Because look, here's what's going to happen, all right? It's like, probably like, is this what happens with alcoholics when they are reformed and they go through all of their rehab and stuff? Do alcoholics have to go to rehab, or is that just like hardcore drug users? Once an alcoholic has done all of those things and like been like, okay, now I'm clean, I'm free, I'm out of it. And then someone's like, hey, but have you considered this new tequila that I've got? And I'm like, fuck, I guess it looks nice, but I'm not going to touch it. That's where we're at right now. Looks nice, but I'm not going to touch it, okay? Because once I start spiraling down this, then what happens? Next week, I'm putting out a video. Kaido and Big Mom are coming back. The following chapter, it's like Wano Act 3 ends, Straw Hats sailing away to Elbaf. Curtain closes on the whole thing. I'm like, fuck, why'd I do that to myself again? No point. Andrew Connor says, love the stream/vids. Do you think in Elbaf we will see the Emerald City on top of the Atom Tree? Possibly being hinted in the Film Red movie. Film Red! Alright, in 5 minutes we'll start looking at Film Red material. Because I've been so excited I can't stop thinking about it. I just want to watch Film Red so bad, it's crazy. It's eating away at me. Forget the alcoholism. Film Red is my addiction. Do I think Elbaf, we will see the Emerald City on top of the Atom Tree? So combining like a bit of 2-in-1, we get the big Atom Tree reveal and we get the Emerald City reveal. I don't know if we're ever getting the Emerald City. The Emerald City is a cool little thing that was thrown out, but I don't know if Oda finds it interesting enough to like actually show it in the story. I don't think like we're owed an Emerald City or anything like that. Teddy/Dark Mugiwara says, oh, by the way, Brago mentioned to us that the audio is fine, but he says not to worry. What is this shit? What is... As far as I saw, Brago wasn't even in this stream. The audio is fine. All right. Disaster Master says, RIP Oof and Beef Stew 1997. Who's Beef Stew 1997? Batman for Real says, Momo greater than Vivi, and it's not even close. I mean, I like Vivi better, but, and I think Vivi's storyline was more emotionally compelling for me overall, but I think Momo, like, that's like your preference. Obviously everything's your preference. If you like Yamato better than either of them, that's your preference. Everything's everyone's preference. I guess what I would say from my perspective, like who's better written or whatever, Momo definitely had a longer and more elaborate arc as a character. I found Vivi personally to be a slightly more endearing. Like, I like Momonosuke. Someone's drilling something up the apartment above me or some shit. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I like Momonosuke's character, and I've liked him for a good while, actually, since Zo. I don't think I ever liked him quite as much as Vivi. I think, yeah, Vivi, maybe that's nostalgia speaking a little bit as well, so who knows? Momo versus Vivi, I think I like Vivi better, but I do like Momo quite a bit. Like, it's closer in my mind than... Maybe I'm giving maybe the nostalgia bump to Vivi, I guess. She's been, she's just been a member of the story, I guess, longer, you know? Luz Vasquez says, thoughts on Nope. Haven't seen it. Fortnite Pro 123 says, I think Jack found Pluton before his Devil Fruit. Yeah, that's like the reasonable explanation. Would make sense. If you're a fishman and then you eat a Devil Fruit, I feel like that's got to be a huge bummer. Because it's like, if you're Jack, what do you really get? You get this mammoth Devil Fruit. Like, for a fishman, swimming has got to be like everything, right? They got to love the shit out of swimming. They swim all the time, right? Like, swimming's got to be their favorite thing to do in the world. So Jack gets his Devil Fruit, and it's not exactly like the Phoenix Fruit or like, you know, something cool like the Pika Pika no Mi, like Kizaru's fruit or something. Like, it's the Mammoth Fruit, which is good. It's a strong fruit, obviously. But at the same time, it's kind of like, it makes him physically stronger and tougher. But you look at Jack, he's already a pretty physically strong and tough dude. And looking at the results of the Mammoth Fruit, right? It's racked him up a lot of L's over the course of the story. So I do wonder, does he sit there and feel like, was this worth it for me? Should I have just been a normal fishman all along? Did I really want to eat this fruit and still lose every fight I get into? I wonder if that's what he was thinking about while he was at the bottom of the ocean. Was he just thinking like, fuck, I ate this mammoth fruit to just never be able to swim, get fucked up by everybody, even get fucked up by other elephants like this one that got me in this situation in the first place? I don't know. I wonder if that's what... You know what's funny? There was a time that, like, Oda was revealed... Like, he was... He showed us, like, a sneak peek of the manuscripts that he was working on. If you remember, if you're an OG reader... OG is a strong word. I guess, like, reader 4 or 5 years back. I think either during Zoe or Whole Cake Island, we got, like, a shot of Oda's, like, workspace or something, and he had, like, different books, like, Gear 4th was a book, King, Queen, Jack were different books, so it was like, oh, he's got a lot of notes for them. I wonder if you open up Jack's book and it's just, like, it's like a list of characters that he's scheduled to lose to. Tomorrow we lose to the Minx. Tomorrow we lose to a sentient island. Tomorrow we lose to this random samurai thief named Senta Shutenmaru that we meet for the first time. Tomorrow the Minx goes Sulong and they gang up on you and they beat you up at the same time. Bonus, Kaido says Jack's not weak. So that's a little bright spot. All right. Minty Fresh says everyone like the stream. Everyone listen to Minty Fresh. Go like the stream. Isaiah Davis says, what if Tashigi receives Nidai Kitetsu as a buff? Same for Smoker getting his weapon fixed. That'd be really cool. If Nidai Kitetsu's saved for Tashigi, that'd be awesome. Because Tashigi, like, she was there for Zoro picking up Sandai Kitetsu. And that was, to date, that's one of my favorite scenes in the story, right? So Tashigi was there for picking up Sandai Kitetsu. So she kind of saw what it took to wield a sword like that and to earn a sword like that. It would be probably really good growth for a character if she's able to hone in Nidai Kitetsu. I think that'd be great. Good point. Zid P says, Morji Porji, since the Yamato is joining, concede. Yeah, I mean, if she joins, then yeah, obviously I concede. I've mentally conceded already, if that helps. I'm just like, we're getting Yamato. As of Momonosuke's quotes as of last chapter, it does seem like we're set up for that. Sheriff Lafitte says, what do you think of Shanks equals Son of Rocks theory? I'm not going to lie, I have that as, like, in my head, that's canon until shown otherwise. Too many things kind of line up. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of shit lines up for that. Just certain quotes that people have said, oh, been a while since we had, like, you know, a baby on the crew and stuff like that. Why would you have a baby on the crew? Is it red-haired Shanks, the fatherless red-haired bastard who has crazy strong haki and potential? I don't know. Christian Braza says, at some level, Yamato and Weevil are the same character. Delusional dummies. On a side note, yeah. Okay, imagine instead of Yamato, we swapped it for Weevil. Would we be really liking this character? They're the fucking same thing. There's very little difference between Yamato and Weevil, other than Yamato's heart is in a better place, obviously. But they're basically the same fucking thing. Like, if Yamato was just Weevil, walking around being like, I'm Whitebeard's son, so I have to join your crew. I'm Whitebeard's son, so I have to join your crew. Let's free Wano so I can join your crew. I'm Whitebeard's son. And he just looked like a giant doof. Would we all be like, fuck yeah, we love Weevil? Keep in mind, no one talks about Weevil as is, and he's like, at least seems like a moderately important character for the story, you know? He's one of the 7 warlords, extremely strong. I don't know. All right, it's almost that time. It's almost Film Red time. Let me just catch up on these real quick. Pina says, Toki's fruit can only go forward, so there's still only one between Toki eating it and dying. Rocks couldn't have eaten it, unfortunately. I don't mean Rocks ate it. I mean, could someone have sent him forward in time? Now, does that line up with anything? No. Right? No. There's no way that Rocks could have just been sent forward in time because Toki was the only one with the fruit. Toki's been traveling from the Void Century. We can assume Toki didn't send Rocks forward in time. If Toki was at fucking God Valley and she sent Rocks forward in time, that's probably a pretty big, what's the phrase? It's something that she probably should have mentioned to some people, I guess, if she did something like that. Like, oh yeah, I sent probably one of, if not the most dangerous pirates in history forward 40 years, so watch out for him in the future. So I guess that theory is dead. Don Guap, thanks, I appreciate it. Caleb Brown says, if Yamato joins, is there something Oda could do to her character in the future to make you like her? Yeah, for sure. Like, that, obviously, at some point in the future. At the moment, it seems very doubtful to me because at the moment, everything that was, like, related to her story, like, everything that we know about her character, period, it's pretty much Wano-centric and Wano-related. Again, it's not like a Nico Robin situation or anything like that. Or you can even go back to Nami. Like, Nami, very clearly, when we first met her, Orange Town, a lot of the things that she was talking about, her past, what people had done to her, the certain things that she believes, she only cares about this or that, she hates pirates, blah, blah, blah. Someone did something to someone she cared about a while ago. She refuses to ally with Luffy long term. Pretty much everything indicated that whatever her main, like the main shit that she's got going on as a character and the main stuff that she's going to have to deal with as a character, that's down the line. With Yamato, there's basically zero, not only is everything about her story very Wano-centric, so the stuff that she cares about, the stuff that she wanted to, like her goals basically, which she wanted to solve, like her entire worldview is based around Wano, etc., right? Who she wants to be, all of that's right here. And it played out perfectly magically for her, right? Basically perfectly magically for her, exactly how she dreamed it, right? Zero conflict, zero friction or anything like that. Exactly how she imagined in her fucking Stockholm syndromed little prison cell reading the diary. She was like, yay, everything went exactly as planned. Everything's beautiful and awesome, right? So all of that played out perfectly for Yamato right there. There's nothing really hanging other than the fact that she's had zero character development. And so then the question is, because there's been no indication that she's going to develop out of this, right? There's no indication that Oda is treating this as something that needs to be solved or fixed or like developed out of. There's just no indication that she's meant to have development. So that's the distinction that I would draw between, like, you can talk about any other character, right? Like Nami, when we first meet her, again, there's a lot that clearly needs to be worked out with this character that Oda's clearly setting up, right? She has certain things, certain biases, stuff like that have to be overcome. Robin, same thing, right? Even Momonosuke. When Momonosuke first joins, we quickly get the idea that he's got some character flaws that Oda is quickly pretty much opening up to us and areas that he needs to grow. With Yamato, we the reader can see lots of areas that she can need to fucking grow because she's one-dimensional, naive as shit, right? As I've been saying over and over throughout this stream. But we have yet to get any indication that this is something that she's supposed to grow out of, or if Oda just thinks that this is like a character that's like good, like checked off, good to run for the rest of the story. That's my thing with Yamato, basically. So if there's a grander plan and it like totally justifies everything that we're getting here, then great. It's kind of like this with like, let's say this, right? So Usopp over the course of this arc he acted basically the worst he's acted in a long, long time. And he was kind of portrayed pretty poorly. You know, there's a lot of things, like every scene, even all the way up to the end, it doesn't make Usopp look good. So because Oda's done this cycle many, many times throughout the series, and usually by the end of the arc, you get something really good out of the character. Because Oda's done that many times throughout the series, I'm like, okay, maybe for the first time, he's saving this redemption moment for Usopp for the next arc, right? So that's what I'm looking forward to. Because Oda's done this cycle with this character so many times, usually, I mean, always he resolves it within the arc itself. This one time it looks like maybe it's going to be a carryover to the next arc. Okay, I'm just going to trust that there's something good for Usopp coming, right? But if I'm looking at it like purely detached at the moment, I'm like, there's still nothing that really indicates to us, the reader, that Oda actually plans on, treating Usopp's actions over the course of Wano as something that he needs to fix or redeem himself from, right? So there's no indication for that yet. But with him as a character, I'm kind of assuming, like, okay, Oda's done this throughout the story. Let's hope that he's got something good for Usopp next arc and that it was worth dragging him through the mud for this arc, right? Yamato's brand new. Brand new, a lot of focus, and pretty much nothing to indicate that there's a plan for her going forward. Like, there's no flaw that Oda's trying to build up, like, oh, she needs to grow out of this. It's kind of like, this is it. This is Yamato. This is what we got. Sheriff Lafitte says, any thoughts on the Nami is Uranus theory? Whoa, I've heard that, but it's never stuck with me. Shirahoshi feels a kinship with her this week. Uranus is the grandfather of Zeus, and Nami is in tune with the weather, and Uranus was god of the sky. I mean, it'd be cool if Nami has like a really big role like Uranus, but I actually prefer her the way she is, which is just a really talented navigator who's really good at reading the weather, and she contributes in... Like, I like the ways that Nami contributes to the story as is. I personally feel like, no, if she's Uranus, that's like an interesting avenue or something like that, but it would be kind of out of left field. I'm also hoping that the last ancient weapon is not another individual, because then I think it kind of plays out the idea. Like, Shirahoshi being an ancient weapon, so a human being being an ancient weapon, that's a fun twist on its own. I think once you change it to like, okay, it's two people and then one's actually a weapon, like the ship, then it's just a little weird to call them the ancient weapons. And it's just like the special people, the prophesied people, oh, and there's like a ship. It's no longer even like a group, you know, like you wouldn't even logically group them together. It'd be like, there's this one ancient weapon. Oh, and there's also two prophesied, really important, like, powerful people that are coming up or something like that. Andrew Connor says, since you're not excited about Yamato, are you happy that Tama is joining the crew? I like Tama much better than Yamato. I'll say that. If there's something that happened with Tama that ends up having her join the crew, that'd be interesting. Drek the Drek says, sometimes I wonder who has had more development between Yamato and Carrot. You have to scan the story with a freaking microscope. No, Carrot has definitely had more development. Carrot had significantly more development. Carrot, at the beginning of Whole Cake Island and the end of Whole Cake Island, like, it's hard to pin down, like, okay, she definitely had to overcome this, she definitely had to grow in this manner, but she had development in the sense that, like, she got world experience, and she kind of, her idea, she joins believing, like, okay, we're going to go on this is not to defend Carrot joining the crew or anything like that. This is not, I'm not pushing anything like that. I'm just saying purely on paper, Carrot versus Yamato development. Yamato is 0, basically. There's no, so you can't lose to Yamato in terms of having character development. It's a automatic, it's a free win. Bingo, free space, all right? With Carrot, if you look at Carrot at the beginning of Whole Cake Island, when she's joining the crew, she has this idea, I want to see the sea, I want to see the world, I want to go on a fun adventure, blah, 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 blah. By the end of her adventures at Whole Cake Island, she's lost Pedro. She's actually gone through a fairly traumatic incident. If you look at, you know, how she's reacting to everything with Pedro, leads to her Sulong stuff, etc. As they're exiting Whole Cake Island, it seems like with her conversation with Sanji, she's reached a certain level of maturity that was not present anywhere in the opening 20, 30 chapters of Whole Cake Island, basically. So she definitely grows. Pedro's death is a significant trigger there as well. So she definitely grows. It's hard to say, you know, if that's going to continue or anything like that, or if that was just a fun little bit that Oda wanted to do with a side character over the course of Whole Cake Island specifically. That's why I warmed up to Carrot a little by the end of Whole Cake. Not pushing her as a crewmate necessarily, but not viewing her as, like, I disliked her as a character initially. And for the record, that same thing can happen with me with Yamato. Right, for the record, you'd be surprised to know I viewed Carrot towards the beginning of Whole Cake Island much the same way I view Yamato now. It's just that by the end of, I guess it went in opposites. Because with Carrot, I disliked her a lot initially because I felt like almost like a fan servicey mascot character to tag along with Chopper. Irritating, annoying, just says she just says she wants to see the world, and everyone's like, oh my god, she's written exactly like a Straw Hat, she's gonna join, etc. Then over the course of Whole Cake, she went through some shit. By the end, it seemed like she'd matured. I enjoyed her Sulong moment quite a bit on the back of Pedro's death and everything like that. I enjoyed Pedro and her final interaction. I enjoyed her reactions post Pedro's death, etc. And I enjoyed her final interaction with Sanji. So at the end of all of that, I was like, I actually like this character, and I'm open to seeing her maybe develop, maybe down the line, into a Straw Hat. Yamato was the opposite, which is that I was really having high hopes for her at the beginning of her introduction. Why? Because I'm like you guys, I was taken in by her design. I was like, fuck yeah, I want this character to be potentially permanent. And then over the course of the arc, she was basically like, imagine if Carrot never went through anything over the course of the entire, like, she was just like, you get to the end of Whole Cake Island and Carrot's exactly the same as she was at the beginning of Whole Cake Island. That's how I feel about Yamato right now. So maybe some shit changes with Yamato down the line. Maybe she goes through, you know, some development down the line. Then sure, fine. But there's no indication of that at the moment. So what am I supposed to be excited about Yamato for? Free Warrior 4 says, the Emerald City is Laughtail, which is on top of the red line, as this will complete the journey around the world for the Straw Hats in one trip / one piece. Okay. Interesting idea. All right, guys. It's time to talk about Phil. Is it? People keep saying stuff. Hold on. Let me run through this. Felix C says, if Shanks is his son, then he inherited the will of Deadbeat. Yeah, that's true. Definitely true for Rocks. J.K. Kane says, character you would like to see in a cover story. Character I would like to see in a cover story? That's a good question. I think I'd like to see some more Wiper stuff, because Viper's one of my favorite forgotten side characters. Not forgotten, but, he was a pretty big deal when he was around. GK says, the fact that Yamato is an Oni is not Wano-centric. She clearly has identity issues, and that could be dealt with in the future. Sure, could be dealt with in the future, but it's just like, you can all, like, I'm saying, is there any indication, is there anything right now? Anything right now, right? You could say, like, oh, yeah, her being an Oni, that's something that could be dealt with in the future. You could also say, oh, her being a Conqueror's Haki user, maybe that leads to her having to step up in leadership down the line. You could make up stuff, but I'm saying that's not the same as, like, oh, clear hanging character conflicts or areas that are being set up for development that the author is clearly fleshing out as a flaw that needs to be worked on or something like that. Very different. Chris Howard says, last chapter said Yamato, she said she was Kaido's son, not Odin. Okay. Like, that she also said that she was Odin, literally like a few, these are not mutually exclusive. She said she was Odin like a couple chapters back to the Straw Hats at the end of the fight. So it's like, we need to see some more to say if anything's actually changed. Brennan Mahoney says, with Shanks' Haki being as strong as it is, does that mean Blackbeard has better Haki mastery than we thought, seeing as how he scarred him permanently? We have no idea how Blackbeard scarred him, and it depends what age Shanks was when he scarred him. That's the thing. Like, if Blackbeard scarred Shanks as a kid, that's not a big deal in my book at all. It would be like scarring Luffy as a kid. It doesn't mean anything. Even if they were like 10, 11, 12 years old or something like that, or like even 13, 14, like, we don't know at what age Shanks really came into his own as Shanks. Like, if we're, like, yeah, that's the thing. Especially if Blackbeard already has a Zoan fruit and Shanks wasn't aware of it or something like that, then I don't read too much into that. Like, to me, the simple truth is, like, the simple indicator is, like, okay, Shanks, like, Blackbeard, once he got those 2 devil fruits, two arguably most powerful fruits in the world, even then he was like, okay, I'm not going to fight Shanks right now. I'm not ready yet. So, to me, all that indicates is that, like, wherever Shanks is at right now, right, Blackbeard is not there yet, or maybe he's gotten there over the time skip, but his Haki is not comparable, at least from what we saw from their Marineford encounter, to me. Sheriff Lafitte says, for me, the issue with Yamato joining the crew and developing is that it takes away time from the other Strats that need development. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I would love for... I like to believe... I think that, like, in the end segments of the story, right, where the Strats are fulfilling their dreams and everything like that, which is what we're approaching, during this period of time, I assume that we'll probably be getting decent focus on each of the Straw Hats. So, I'm not too worried about something like that, but we'll see. Ominous Chris says, it's weird CP0 were told the fruit Shanks stole gives rubber properties and is nothing special. So the Gorosei always knew the Gomu was the Nika fruit. I guess somebody up top knew, but CP0, wait, was it CP0? Wasn't Who's Who part of CP9 at the time? And I imagine CP9 wouldn't be told information like that. Ares says, Law kind of sus. He can still betray the Straw Alliance in the name of stealing the One Piece properly, making good on Robin's warning that pirate alliances are often marked by betrayal. No, because Law's entire character, like, everything about him, like, if you read Dressrosa and at the end of it, like, basically all of Dressrosa is meaningless if Law's just in it to betray the Straw Hats. Like, the idea of Law is that he's secretly a good, like, underneath that exterior, he's actually a very, very kind-hearted person, and he's a good person. And, his past with Corazon shaped him and molded him into being that person, even though he could have very well gone down a different route. So it invalidates pretty much all the storytelling around Law for a cheap twist if Law turns out to be a traitor. Nerve MV Maker says, if Yamato is joining, why didn't she have the bounty from the raid? Green Bull didn't know who she was. She'll be the only Strahd with no bounty. Yeah, okay, this is a side note. I want to see the other Strahd's bounties. I really do. I personally like seeing all the crew's bounties together. This time, like, Kid and Law obviously stole the show. I'm like, man, all right. Because, like, even in Dressrosa, when Law also got the same bounty as Luffy, perfectly fine. It's just that Oda also presented all of the Straw Hats bounties first. And it was like, that was cool. That was what I was excited about. And then at the end of the chapter, Oda had Bartolome mention to Law, like, hey, you also got 500 mil, but I threw that away. I'm cool with that. Like, the Straws are the ones I care about, really. But I guess Oda wanted to show, like, all 3 of these guys got the same bounty. That's a big deal. Just kind of clear up the question marks regarding what Kid and Law's bounties are. So hopefully in the next couple chapters we get the Strahd bounties. Let's see. King Zebek says, is Shanks evil? Is Shanks evil? No. Mark Ross says, hey, Mystery Mortgage, I recently got a job and caught your stream after payday. Here's a lot of money. Oh, wow, thanks, man. Please don't spend all your payday money on Morj streams. Thanks for all your hard work. No, thank you for your hard work. You just got a new job. Also, look up definition of pluton, and I think about where we last saw Kaido and Big Mom. I already explained this. I'm trying not to, I get it. I'm trying not to think about that. Fortnite Pro 123 says, red time, like the stream. Morji's Pinky Toe says, do you think Carrot can still join, or is that out the window now that Yamato's on the crew? I'm just going to assume that Yamato's probably joining next. Carrot was maybe a solid red herring for a while. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Disaster Master... Why isn't this loading? Disaster Master says, Yamato is a clout chaser, completely disowns Kaido to everyone who knows Odin, but quickly uses Kaido's clout to anyone who only knows Kaido. That's actually a really funny way of putting it. Yeah, she's like, I'm Odin's son. Green Bull would be like, who the fuck is that? Gabe says, saw a theory about Pluton being a mole. Thoughts? Like a literal mole? Like the little vermin animal thing? That's weird. That doesn't make any sense to me. Pluton being a mole, like someone that's infiltrated another organization and is secretly working as a double agent, that also makes less sense to me. I'm going to go with Pluton being a ship because that's what I was told. Daniel Chuckwoodham says, will Carrot join if she gets the Yuki Yuki no Mi? A lot of Carrot joining questions. I don't know, man. I think it'd be very late in the game for Carrot. Like, she would... How much stuff? No, I don't think... I think it'd be really bizarre if she does nothing over the course of this arc and then she just suddenly joins. GK says, I think Oda will use Yamato to develop some of the non-closed parentheses from Wano. A lot of the BS Kaido said might make sense later through Yamato. Yeah, but Yamato was the one asking all the questions. She was the one that was confused as fuck. She was like, why are you in... why are you in Wano? He's like, I'm in Wano because it's Wano and it's like a very special place. And it was like, ... What does that mean? She was like, well, why do you enslave the people of Wano? He's like... Because there's not simple answers to these questions. It's like, okay, ... Cigar Verk says, what's with the trim? You want my haircut? It's just a haircut. Leave it alone. TCB says, Mork. Thanks, man. All right, guys. It's Film Red time. Everybody get hyped. Everybody get hyped. It's time to look at some Film Red stuff. All right? I know we can all barely contain ourselves. I know that I've had a hard time so far. But it's time to look at the greatness that is Film Red. All right, let me make sure I don't fuck up this setup. So first of all, if you've been enjoying the stream, all stream highlights can be found on Morgon Leashed, pinned at the top of this. It's got stream highlights, the best videos that come out of the Morjverse period, if we have a name for the many channels that exist out there. So definitely check that out when you get the chance. If you missed it, one of the upcoming videos is about... If you missed last stream, one of the upcoming videos explains my homelessness arc. And what happened with that. So definitely subscribe if you want to check that out too. All right. Hold on. Let me make sure the setup is just right. Just right for the people. Name says, you think we'll ever see a Stripe eat a devil fruit? I've always said I think it'd be funny if it's Nami. I think it'd be really funny if Nami eats a devil fruit. Just because she's the most normal of the bunch, and she would really dislike it. It would really, really bother her. She does not want a devil fruit ability, that's for sure. Okay. I think I've got the perfect setup. So here. Okay. Is this setup good? Island Sanji says, you said it was Film Red time 20 minutes ago. Yeah, well, these people, I have to respond to the chats. I can't just skip over all of that. We're here now, right? We're here now. All right? So, TCB says spoilers are out now. All right, nobody spoil nothing. All right? Seriously, nobody spoil nothing. Spoilers. Everybody be very careful. All right, who do we got here? We got Paravision. Paravision says, okay, I'm closing chat then. Ha ha ha. Yeah, way to earn your mod status, Paravision. Wow. I was like, we need all mods, hands on deck, everybody being super careful. Paravision's just like, yeah, I just walk around with this blue wrench to flex. I don't actually do any mod work. Peace out. Caleb Brown says, homeless Morj is almost as good as hairless Morj. Yeah, the two arcs coincide. All right. Vibox says, Film Red spoiler, Luffy's in it. That's not a spoiler. The real spoiler would be if we found out that Shanks is in it. All right? Because a lot of people, such as myself, have our doubts as to whether or not Shanks will be making his appearance. And that's part of the fun of Film Red. You never know what's going to happen next. It's like a box of chocolates, right? Are we going to be getting... AJK says, Morj, your barber needs a proper beating for real. What the fuck? Leave me alone. I like getting my hair cut short and then it grows out for a bit. Trey Bird says, your Wano is about Conqueror's Haki and Advanced Armament Haki theory was S tier. Always overlooked. Get yourself some coffee. All right. I guess coffee is a good reward for that. Yeah, but when it's overshadowed by all the raid failing stuff. It's just the way it's gonna be. Disaster Master says, I'll take Parvision's mod. I don't know if he's gonna give it up like that. Parvision says, Morj, you're the only streamer I know working actively against your mods, lol. Parvision, I will unmod Parvision soon if he keeps trying to slander me like this. All right, it's just one more. All it takes is one more. All right, let's do it. But yeah, Film Red. I don't know if we're gonna get some Shanks. Maybe we get a little silhouette of him. Maybe we see him running off into the distance, leaving Uta behind, picking up his cigarettes. Parvision says, see, I'm modding. Did you ban some people just to prove that you're modding? Oh, okay, you banned... No, you banned... Look at who Parvision banned. He banned lovechat.xyz, best adult dating site. I want that in the chat. The people want that. Don't ban that. Come on now. Some people are just trying to link us to the best adult dating sites out there. Way to go, Parvision. Parvision's just cock-blocking all of us. All right, that's cool. Guess we'll never find out what the best adult dating sites are like. Volatile Vortex says, Morj, you haven't noticed my comments on streams since Lorge days. When was Lorge days? Parvision says, I handled those bots. Come on, lol. You're the bot. All right, let's go. All right, I've seen this one. So I've seen the first trailer. So there's not much to see here. Here's one. Okay. All right. I will let you guys know that we will have some significant Film Red spoilers here. By that, I mean I'm going to be trying to piece together what I believe the full plot of Film Red is through the promotional material alone. All right? So looking at this, I know this musical shit, at first, no one knows what that's about, right? But since this, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the Film Red promotional material has been promoting random musical shit in it. So there's like a band and stuff in it, like some singing frogs and stuff like that. Might be getting my facts mixed up, but there's a strong musical influence in Film Red. Why? Does music have... Is Shanks tied to music in any way? No, but they're going to make his daughter a fucking K-pop star, so that's why. They're just mixing and matching. I know that... I know this guy. I believe in this guy. Let's go. The music is pretty hype for this. It's pretty exciting. One Piece film. Red. Yeah. All right. So, musical stuff is important in this movie. How do I feel about that? I don't really care. It's if the whole movie is a musical or something like that, I don't know how I feel. It's clear music's gonna be important. Kings of Beck says Shanks is lightning the next step up on King's Haki. I mean, you see lightning everywhere for people using Conqueror's Haki, but maybe being able to actually control it and use it offensively, that might be a big thing. I like to think that Roger and Shanks basically had some next level of Haki that other characters aren't quite at just yet. Like, because I have a hard time thinking about, like, how does Roger match Whitebeard if, obviously they had an even Conqueror's Haki clash and everything like that, but Whitebeard's also got the Guruguru no Mi, right? So then that must mean that Roger must have at least, even if he doesn't have stronger Haki than Whitebeard or whatever, however you want to scale Haki, he must at least know some Haki tricks that Whitebeard wouldn't in order to actually be able to counterbalance the fact that Whitebeard's also got a really busted Devil Fruit on his side as well. I don't know. Yeah, no spoilers for real, guys. All right, we got the real trailers. Let's go. Why'd I watch the teaser? What's the point? Wait, there's no subtitles. I don't speak Japanese. There's no subtitles for this. All right. Subtitles? Oh, there we go. All right, great. All right. YouTube usually, it's hit or miss with this. Though we're apart, you'll always be my daughter. This is such a shitty... This is such deadbeat dad behavior. This is wild. He's acting like he has to leave for some tragic reason. He doesn't. Shanks does. You know what Shanks does most? He's just chilling. He's literally just chilling. He's just sailing the seas, hanging out. The first time that we saw him outside of chapter 1 was Mihawk coming up to Shanks and his crew on an island where they were clearly just recovering from a party and Shanks was just hungover. Was this some super important island where like a road poneglyph was being protected or some shit? No. Shanks literally just left to hang out with his buddies. Probably fuck around, do drugs, all sorts of pirate shit. And his daughter's in absolute tears, and he's acting like there's no other choice. Her name is... Wait, what? Her name is Uta, the world's greatest diva. Okay. So the biggest K-pop star in One Piece is Shanks' daughter. That's... I've seen this trailer. We don't know that for a fact. Shanks won't keep quiet. We don't know what he would do. He might not care.
One Piece film Red.
Keep in mind, no matter what has happened to Luffy throughout the series, no matter, like, there's not a single thing that has happened to Luffy throughout the series that has made Dragon care in the slightest to come take action. Like, oh, what's my son doing? Oh, he's off in Wano, probably getting murdered by the world's strongest creature and Big Mom. He'll be fine. Oh, he went to Marineford? Oh, he's in Impel Down? He'll be fine. Some themes coming out for the movie. No peace or equality in this world. Cool. All right. I've seen that trailer. That was not a huge, what do you call? That was not a surprise trailer for me. What? You guys got problems with my setup? My setup's fine. What's wrong with the setup? Izzo, what's up? Izzo says next chapter will have more variety and catch-ups. No, don't. That's a spoiler. Don't say nothing. All right. Vihawk says my theory is that she has an angel devil fruit. Oh my god, Izzo's message got deleted by Sean Easton. Izzo's like a big... Oh man. My mods have pretty big balls. All right. I'm sorry, Izzo, but it just had to happen. All right. Let's see another trailer. Maybe it gives us a bit more context. Okay. I already knew this fact. I knew she's the world's greatest diva. Why? Because I saw a trailer before this. As long as I sing, everyone will be peaceful and happy. This never happened. This isn't true. This is this is gaslighting. This is Oda gaslighting all of his readers. This is not true. None of this happened. There was no Uta around. Where was she when Luffy was getting kidnapped by those mountain bandits? Where was she when Luffy was cutting his eye out? Where was she when Luffy was eating the Gomu Gomu no Mi? What is this? There was no Uta. This is not real. This isn't true. Blue, Morj says, congrats on the engagement, buddy. Thanks, Blue. It's going to be canon now. Let me take a quick look. Quick look at the most recent. Okay, so I skipped this earlier, but I saw there was some Uta shit early on. New Age. Uta, save us, Uta-chan, the houses are burning. Can't she just sing? Uta, they got my dad. Uta-chan, something. Uta, listen, pirates have stormed the town. All right, so she wakes up. Some music shit. It's not here. A pen. I need a pen. Oh, Brooke's gonna like her a lot. It's done. My magnum open. Okay. I have nothing to say about this character. All right, we'll find out. We'll find out. Maybe this one actually gave me some information. This movie is just, it's all the promotional material is just concert shit. It's just animated concert shit. And then Luffy yelling Uta. This is the same trailer as the previous trailer. Am I crazy? This is the exact same trailer. Wait, did I not? I didn't even notice. Why is Brule there? Conflict over Uta.
Shanks と歌にやっぱなんかあったのか。
This is very pretty though. I think it'll be a visually pretty stunning movie, it looks like. Yeah, he did. He abandoned you. Yep. It was the only way to save her. Sounds like some BS Shanks might make up.
One Piece Film Red.
Why hasn't Shanks done anything in these trailers so far? Ray Uchiha says, I think the real question is, how is Hancock going to feel about her? I mean, I don't know if Hancock's going to be the biggest fan. Disaster Master says, Shanks abandoned her before Luffy ate Gum Gum. Hashtag deadbeat. Sure, Fluffy says, I know you don't like One Piece movies, but I think you'd like Strong World. It's the most One Piece movie written and storyboarded by Oda. Yeah, I think I would like Strong World as well, just because of the things people have talked about for regarding it, and it's like fully written by Oda. I liked Film Z. I've told people that I liked Film Z. So I'm good with. I believe that it could be good. All right. So here's my thoughts based on the trailers that we've seen. All right. Here's my thinking. Here's what it looks like to me so far. I feel like the plot is roughly this. Luffy and Uta were friends as kids. Pretty straightforward, right? Makes sense. They were friends as kids. Shanks made up a lie. Or it's probably true. Maybe she has a disease. And Shanks went to go find the cure. Because Luffy said that Shanks left to go find something. Like, he had to go leave to save her. Okay? Shanks left to go save her. The only thing I can think of is a disease, like the Roger-esque disease. Izzo says, LMAO, I didn't spoil anything. I just answered a random chatter in chat and said the next chapter will be nice since he didn't like 1055. Gotcha. Sorry anyways. No worries, Izzo. You don't need to defend yourself. Don't even worry about it. You're all good. Sean Easton's asking my fellow mods, how long does it take to time someone out? I think I did the same guy 5 times in a row. Out of context, Sean's just like, I did some guy 5 times in a row. All right. Cigar Verk says, Morj missed your super chat. Well, let's check it out then. Let's take a look at what it was. Hello? Oh, Cigar says, Otto is putting out some Uta songs, and there will be some vlogs about her. They're promoting this movie quite differently. ZKU coming, Zoro kills Uta. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. All right. Spoilers are funny. No mentions of spoilers. Can we just ban the spoilers, period? No mentions if they're funny, if they're scary, if they're spooky, whatever the spoilers are. All right, Shanks does what? I need more information. I don't know what Shanks does. I know this happens. I picked up on this from the trailers. There is a concert. It looks like it takes up a lot of screen time. Luffy and Uta reunite at this concert. Name says Shanks could have left while she was a baby, but the menace had to wait till she was just old enough to remember him. Shanks left while she was a baby, but the menace had to wait till she was just old enough. I don't know what that means. Caleb Brown says, sorry, Uta, I got to go befriend another sad kid. Yeah. Shanks is traveling the seas, making friends with sad kids. What is this? R.I.P. Morj plush. What is this? Shanks Bear. All right, I guess that's going to be a big deal. This is going to sell pretty well, I feel. All right. What's this? Oh, these are just the character things. Okay, cool. Cool. I like it. Usopp getting better scenes here than he did in all of Wano. This is just their designs and stuff. All right, we can skim through these. Anime Dimension says, in chapter 1055, page 8, an image of old Wano, you can see silhouette of a sea train. Have you considered Pluton being a sea train weapon? I don't think Pluton's a sea train weapon. I don't think that's... I think it's a ship. We've kind of covered that, right? It's a giant warship. Okay. I'm liking the designs so far. I'm liking the designs. We saw him already a bit in the trailers, so nothing crazy here. Alright, give me something crazy. It's just them doing their usual shit. Give me something crazy. Alright, let's take a look at the red-haired pirates. I doubt how much time we're going to see these guys actually over the course of this. This is just clips of the red-haired pirates. All right, Rock's face reveal. Wait, how have I not seen this? It's just, god damn it. Wait a second. No fucking way. All right, I know this is just my guys trolling me, but it did just open up the people that set up the stream trolling me, but it did just okay, time out. What are the chances here? What are the chances here? Hear me out on this. Rocks and Rockstar, both red hair, both connected to Shanks in some way. Has anyone talked about this? Is this public knowledge? Okay, hold on. Rox is confirmed to have red hair, right? Rox is confirmed to have red hair, or am I just making that up? Someone tell me, is Rox supposed to have red hair? Okay, listen. If we could talk about Crocodile being Luffy's mom, we could talk about Rocks being Rockstar's dad. I see no difference. I'm adding that to the script. All right? Shocking reveal partway through the film. Rocks is, in fact, the father of Rockstar. Red hair pirates crew member. It's added to the script. You guys can't do anything about it. All right, continuing on. So we got Rockstar, Son of Rocks. Big Mom Pirates. Yeah, we saw a glimpse of those a little bit ago. Big Mom Pirates. Oh, they got a whole clip to themselves. Wait, Katakuri's in this? No. Now I'm excited. Why don't they fucking show him in the trailer? Why you show Brule in the trailer in Oven, but you don't pull out Katakuri? This is hilarious. Brule legitimately looks... She actually did look like a branch from behind, which is what they called her when they first met her. Okay, just the three of them. That's cool. You just need Katakuri. You don't even really need the others. How fast can I type? Oh, you guys want to see me play Type Racer? I'm like not bad. I haven't tried on this keyboard. Let me try. I'll play one game of Type Racer. Let me see. I might need to warm up a bit. Give me a second. It's pretty good. Fuck. All right, whatever. All right. That one had words messed up. That's not my fault. All right. Back to this. Where was I at? New character, Hanagasa. All right. Okay. Seems like standard henchman material. We don't have the bad guy of this movie yet, right? That's kind of rare, isn't it? That's actually very interesting. Because these guys are definitely not the bosses of the movie. Right? So I'm thinking back, unless you're telling me that this guy is the boss of the movie, which I feel is actually impossible, right? There's no way this guy's the big bad. Right? There's no way this guy's the big bad. This looks like standard Zoro or Sanji opponent. If I'm picking, this guy's got a sword, so maybe he's the Zoro opponent, but he looks like, it just looks too generic. Did Oda really put out this character design? This feels like Oda's assistant put out this character design. I don't know about that. And we've got some music videos. For some reason. This is rare. Normally before the movies come out, you know exactly who the villain's going to be. Like Strong World, Shiki was the big hype factor, right? So we learned about a lot about Shiki beforehand. We got Chapter 0. Then Film Z, obviously the namesake. Most of the focus is on him. Backstory about him. Tessero, we learned quite a bit about Tessero. Bullet, this is the first time I think that we don't know anything at all about the villain going into the movie. Vihawk says, I'm pretty sure Uta is going to be the big bad. That's actually a very interesting possibility because it's just rare that we don't... It's very rare that we don't see a villain seen, hinted at whatsoever over the course of this like all promotion, because promoting the villain is a big part of getting people interested in your movie, right? I think that's one of the reasons that Film Gold was not that, Strong World, obviously, tremendous amount of hype, largely because of who Shiki is. We got even hints to his character in the manga itself, Chapter 0, and everything like that, too. Film Z, we knew that we were dealing with an Admiral. Stampede, we knew we were dealing with somebody from Roger's time, like a big deal, basically, right? Who supposedly had... Bullet had... I forget, he'd done some crazy feats in the past that I forget what they were exactly, but... Gold did not do nearly as well because we were dealing with a character that we just had no reason to be really particularly excited about. It was Tessero, right? I've heard from people who watch the movies that Tessero is a better villain, but I'm talking about in terms of hype and promotional material. It's just some casino owner, right? He's not exactly Marine Admiral or like legendary pirate or something like that. So I'm curious as to why, like maybe they felt like Shanks is enough, but in that case, why not show the villain whatsoever? Cigarverk says, Uta's the big bad, ZK Uta incoming. You know what? Terasai says, nah, Uta is too hot to be a villain. That's actually very, very possible. Bladock says, Morj becoming villain will finally be canon. They'll sign me up to do it. Shanks is the bad guy for abandoning his daughter. No, Oda actually supports that. His entire series basically suggests that he's very supportive of the idea of, like, leaving your kids behind to do what you want. I'm not gonna watch this whole music video. Why does this exist? Who was asking for this? Is this like effective promotional material? Like in Japan, are they going nuts over this? Like, are they really, really fucking excited? They're like, oh my god, there's a fucking music video for this. There's a music video. It's got 17 million views. I cannot imagine a single one is from America. I feel like I'm probably the first one in America to have actually clicked and watched this. And I'm doing that for stream content. It's very different. This is... Wait. This is a big clue. Big clue. I think I'm the only one who's going to pick up on this clue because nobody else is going to watch this video. She wants to be free. Did I crack it? Let a brand new era dawn. I know that we can't. Am I deciphering the riddles right here? What am I doing? You want to play a real game? Actually, I'm glad I clicked this music video. Okay. Wait, why did I turn off subtitles? I don't know what they're saying. All right. Once you're there, don't let go. Don't know if that means anything. Just let me live inside a dream. It's just shit about dreams and dawn and being free, which is basically One Piece 101. Never mind. I don't think that's a big deal. Let me check out this other one just to see. Just to see. Different vibe. Scattered memories. I've left a miserable... I'm cracking the code on Uta's character right here. She's left a miserable grudge behind. Okay, so she's mad at Shanks. She's mad at Daddy. All right. What it's like to be painfully lonely. Makes sense. Just for now, let loose. Okay. Wait. Send the bad guys flying. I don't know if she's a fighter exactly. Against the sun? The backdrop of the sun? Does Uta die at the end of this? Alright. I'm not picking up anything. Alright. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Uta dies at the end. The concert will fail. Who typed this? This wasn't me. God damn it. All right. Concert will fail. Uta dies. Sun equals Nika. Sure. I think I like the second song a little better. Okay. The concert will fail. Who's the bad guy? I need to crack the code on who the bad guy is here. Bad guy... Fuck. They just didn't reveal it. You know what? Let's roll with it. Uta's the bad guy. Uta is the bad guy because she has some curse that makes her transform into a big scary thing. And that's what Shanks left to do, to find a cure. But then he went and just fucked around and drank for 20 years. I think that sounds about right. Wait. Big fight scene. Luffy beats the shit out of Uta. That's the big fight scene. Uta dies, but her dreams are fulfilled in some way. So she dies happy. Shanks does not appear. Roll credits. I think that's a pretty good movie. I think that's basically what happens. Based on all of the material and putting all of my detective work together, I think this is basically what we got. Plank Vanilla says, Morj, isn't it weird that nobody beyond Zoro is trying to challenge Mihawk for his title? The race for greatest swordsman is much emptier compared to the race for Pirate King. Also like the stream. Yeah, everybody liked the stream. Let's not forget that. Never forget that. The race just... Okay, so we haven't run into anybody who's like trying to chase Mihawk in that sense. All of the swordsmen that we run into are essentially kind of... They're fairly established, I suppose, and they've probably completed their swordsmanship arc and kind of they're in their primes or whatever. Or they've hit their peak. You know, a King, a Smoothie, Vista, etc. That's at least kind of the feeling I've gotten. So we don't see as much of a chase, and maybe Mihawk's just like too high of a bar, I guess, for a lot of characters. What we're really missing is like young up-and-comers, I guess, chasing for that title, right? People similar to Zoro. So I would agree in that sense, but at the same time, like, Oda's only got so much space. I don't know. Yeah, like the characters that Oda ends up having Zoro fight are established swordsmen who are like in their primes. So I'm kind of cool with it. All right, let's see. John Ross, message deleted. Can only assume it was a spoiler. All right. Am I missing anything else? Nope. Good. All right. Polar Bear says Uta fruit equals lullaby maybe. Put people to sleep, dream... Wait, what? Was that deleted? Was that like an actual spoiler? Is that why that's being deleted? Uta Black Wings in trailer 3. This is my theory. Uta's wings remain white for the entire movie. All right. So, Luffy and Uta were friends as kids. Shanks, I guess I didn't elaborate on this. I had a thought about Shanks, and Shanks leaves. That's probably what I meant, right? There's a concert. It looks like it takes up a lot of screen time. Yeah, so there's a concert. That's where Luffy and Uta reunite. That happens, obviously, in the story. Shocking reveal. Rox is the father of Rockstar. I forgot about this part. Okay, but it has no further... This has no further relevance to the rest of the plot. The concert fails. Morj is the bad... What the fuck? Who... These guys... Morj is the bad guy because she has some curse that makes her transform into a big... I'm getting rid of this part. This part wasn't there. She has the curse. She has some curse that makes her transform into a big scary thing, and that's what Shanks left to do to find a cure. But then he went and just fucked around and drank for 20 years. Yeah, this is all canon. So she has a curse. Hashtag Tama for Nakama. Can I ban people from this Google Doc? All right, she has some curse that makes her transform. She probably becomes a giant monster. I swear she got black wings in trailer 3. Black wings in trailer 3. All right. We're taking a look at trailer 3 again. Just watched all of trailer 3. It can confirm she has no black wings. She has no wings at all. You gaslit me into thinking that she has wings. Luffy, this is all incorrect. Luffy beats the shit out of Morj. All right, so Luffy beats Uta up a little bit. Uta's wings remain white for the entire movie. She actually has no wings on further examination. Uta's wings don't exist. Uta does die because Luffy defeats her. When she cries, damn it. She's crying the whole time. The entire thing is her crying. There's some smiling and some singing, but most of it's her crying about some shit. Shanks obviously does not appear because, you know, they're not going to actually deliver on that aspect of Film Red. There's no way Shanks is appearing. And then roll credits. And I think that's pretty much it. I think we can ship this off to, you know, the One Piece Reddit. This is pretty much the whole plot. Just label it spoilers. One Piece Film Red full spoilers. And I think we're good to go. Esther Sparks says she has wings, though. Where does she have... Oh, okay, now I have to look at timestamps. All right, 43 seconds into the third trailer. All right, is this going to be a Rickroll? Is that what happens at 43 seconds in? What? Are these wings? Are we calling these... I guess they're wings. Yeah, they're clearly coming out of her back. Okay. Okay, so this actually is correct then. She most likely does transform into some shit, and that's why we don't have the villain actually in the story. So this part is no longer a joke. This part is actually accurate. Okay, parts that are definitely accurate are this. Probably not this. Probably this. I imagine the concert will fail. I think Luffy does beat the shit out of Uta. This is now no longer canon. Uta's wings do in fact exist. Uta dies. Uta dies. I don't know if she dies. It's a question mark. This is definitely... Oh, fuck. What happened? No! No. I need my resources. Need my resources. All right. Well, you guys got the gist of it. Music notes. Where's Daddy Shanks? Yeah, Shanks isn't showing up. These are the people that run the stream behind the show. All right, we're done with this section of the stream for the moment. These are the guys that put it together. And they're the people who I rely upon to have a professional and classy stream. So that's where we're at the moment. Uta's the bad guy because she corrupts the world with K-pop. So I'm guessing at this point we basically have a setup where she tries to sing a song that's really nice and happy and some shit. And then she's singing that song and then some darkness stuff takes over her because she's probably cursed in some way. And then her song does evil things and then Luffy has to beat her up. And that's pretty much the movie. So I don't really know if... I don't really know if were those mods? No, these they're the guys that help run Morgon Leashed. They're the editors of Morgon Leashed that you guys praise so much. If people want to see Morgon Leashed and they want to see the highlights from this stream clipped together with some entertaining edits, etc., click on the link that's pinned at the top of this chat, and you guys can check out the videos there. Upcoming video coming pretty soon is my homeless arc, so you guys can wait on that. Terrasize says Morj about to fire some people after this. I can't replace them. Yeah, check out Morgon Leashed for sure. Those are the minds that you saw there that were fucking up the stream are the same minds that help set it up and help edit it. Maximiliano Crespo says, Morj, don't you think abortion should be legal? This is... Why are you coming in trying to make me talk about certain things? We're talking about... I'll say this. Uta should have been aborted, in my opinion, based on everything that I've seen. I'll leave it at that. I think that's something non-controversial that everybody can get behind. Phantom Greyfire says, Morj, you might have missed a bunch of supers. Maybe double check. You're probably right. All right, let's switch back to the old version. Now that I've successfully spoiled all of Film Red, we can get back to whatever the fuck you guys were making me talk about before this. Let's take a look. I don't think I missed too many supers, though. Or any supers. Might be wrong. Let's take a look. Some people's messages got deleted. I don't think I missed anyone. Yeah, I don't think I missed anyone. If I missed someone, let me know. Arvind Sivasalim says, did Shanks go to Reverie to ask elders to abort Uta? There's a certain pirate I have to let you know about. It's my daughter. We've got to kill her. Cigar Verk says, you shared the Google Doc link. Oh, I shared the Google Doc link? My bad. I thought that it's purely the guys who are running it. Where'd I share the Google Doc link? Oh, fuck. It's in the actual Google Doc. I swear it was the dudes that were actually running the thing. So, hold on. It was just a bunch of strangers that were editing it? It was you guys? Sheriff Lafitte says, do you think Oda cut some storylines in his 4-week planning session? I could see some minor storylines not coming to fruition at this stage. Do I think Oda cut some storylines? I don't know, probably. He has to cut storylines at all times in the story, right? Like, he had to cut for Punk Hazard. There were originally going to be two islands. He had to cut for Dressrosa, because Dressrosa and Green Bit were going to be 2 islands. So he has to cut storylines throughout the story. I would imagine that, like, based on the things he's saying, which is he's trying to end One Piece sooner than later, yeah, he definitely cut probably a good amount during that part. Killer Brown says, Madam Mordley, his theories are spoilers. Yeah, you shouldn't have access, but maybe it was incorrectly set up by me. Although I didn't set up that document. The other guys did. Phantom Greyfire says, Morj, do you do episode watch parties on Twitch? It would be hilarious. No, because then I'd have to watch the One Piece episodes. And I just can't do that. Aslan says, that is a terrible haircut. God damn it. Taco Record says, do you like tacos? Yeah, I like tacos, okay. Tacos are okay, but I prefer burritos or enchiladas or something like that. Tacos are like my least favorite form of Mexican cuisine, I guess. I feel like a lot of, like, there's this whole branch of Mexican cuisine that's basically very similar stuff, but in different shapes. So that's like tacos, burritos, enchiladas, etc. Not saying exactly the same, but similar. And I guess my favorite shape, if I'm ranking the shapes that they come in, tacos are probably towards the bottom of the list. You know why? Because tacos are inconvenient. Because you're eating a taco and stuff's like falling out the top or the bottom. It's just like, I don't want food to be a hassle where I have to think about everything staying in, you know, like while I'm eating. That's why burritos are so clever. It's like, well, what if we fucking wrap this shit up and then you don't have to worry about that? It's like, yeah, that's evolution. I guarantee burritos came after tacos. Burritos were probably invented by the chef that took a look at tacos and was basically like, yeah, we need to fix this shit. That's how the burrito was come up with. It's just like, what if we just tie it up? Brilliant. They're like, well, we could tie it up, or we could just do both, and there's 2 options. And you can have it like just this weird mess that's a taco, or you could have the nice, tight, compact burrito, like a fully fleshed out, thought out food. They're like, well, let's just keep both of them. Just keep both options. Doesn't make any sense to me, but who am I to talk about culinary shit? All right, AJK says, what happened to opening Wano's border theory? You said you were going to read it 100 times. When will we talk about it? We've been waiting, man. All right, AJK. Just for you, here's a promise. Here's a promise. Just for you, here's a promise. I will read the opening Wano Borders theory. Next stream. Guaranteed. I read it on stream. Paz Smith says Morj doesn't really understand One Punch Man. No, it's One Punch Man. Let's be very clear. One Punch Man is a very basic series that anyone can understand. All right, it's let's not go too far here and start saying like people out there are struggling to understand One Punch Man. It is probably the most basic of the basic that you can get. That being said, yes, the fundamental concept of Saitama did change as of last chapter. Not in a big way. It's still, the end result of what he will be will always be the same. Let's say that. The end result of what he will be will always be the same. But, like, the concept is 100% changed. The concept has definitely changed. He's being written more so in a traditional... There's more elements of trying to write him... Like, especially if you compare to the webcomic version of One Punch Man. The webcomic version of One Punch Man, the concept hasn't changed whatsoever. He's still exactly what it is on the label, essentially, right? The manga has shifted. It has its foot a little bit in and out the door of, like, trying to write him as, like, a traditional shonen character in some senses, while still trying to stay true to his roots as basically a gag character that can win any fight. Which I think you kind of got to pick a lane. I think it works less if you do both, but I still think that the latest stuff is really good, and I think that the manga is still probably what the One Punch Man manga did over the course of this year is like really, really, really dope. Like, it's had some amazing chapters. I like the recent chapters and stuff like that. I have a tough time seeing exactly what you can do with Saitama going forward now that there's this sort of new angle that you can write him with, essentially. Sheriff Lafitte says, do you think the Grand Fleet incident has to do with the red-haired pirates or the Marines? I'm hoping it's not just Bartolomeo doing that shit, because it is minor in the grand scheme of things. Because it's just a Shanks, and we know that Shanks isn't really out to kill Luffy or anything like that. So I think it might be something bigger, but maybe at the end of the day it is just that. I don't know. It's just like, how do I say this? The standard that was set for Oda being like, this will cause a great incident down the line, there's a certain standard that was set with the Ace Blackbeard duel, right? After the Ace Blackbeard duel, it was like, this led to a huge incident down the line, and that turned out to be Marine Ford. So when Oda ends the Grand Fleet creation with, this will lead to a huge incident down the line, it's like, we've already been fed this line once, and it led to Marine Ford. So, whether we can't help it, we're hyped for something big. If it turns out to be Shanks getting mad at Bartolomeo, maybe that leading to some conflict with Luffy, it's not going to be Marine Ford, but it'll be a cool use of the Grand Fleet, I guess, at the end of the day. All right. Amber229 says, I really don't like Morj haircut. It looks terrible. It will grow back. The hair will grow back. That's what happens. Just leave it alone, and I promise the hair will grow back, and it will be back to what it was before. I did probably get a little bit too much cut off. The One True Edgelord says, Saitama has depression due to his power. Dude, we all know, like, this isn't revelatory or anything like that. We all, like, people have been talking about this aspect of One Punch Man forever, okay? I'm not talking about that aspect of him. I'm talking about the concept of a character that basically has essentially broken the rules of storytelling, right? So basically, he's automatically too strong for whatever he comes up against. That's the initial concept of Saitama. And the joke that basically comes with it is like, being that strong is actually a challenge in and of itself. And that leads to basically feeling unfulfilled no matter what you come up against, right? So that's the concept. With Garo, we actually got a little bit foot in the door, foot out the door of the idea of like, okay, Saitama's not actually what we thought he was. So he does actually have some limit. It's just that the limit was so high. Now that can obviously keep increasing no matter what challenge he comes up against, but it seems to be increasing based on what? Emotional stakes and stuff like that, like we usually get out of normal shonen storytelling. Obviously what happened in recent chapters with Saitama and Genos and everything. It's suddenly become a little different. The idea that he will never feel fulfilled no matter what, it's become a little different, especially with the way that the Garo fight played out. It's kind of trying to have its cake and eat it too, in that like, Saitama will never have a serious fight, and that's tragic. But then at the same time, you see him, coughing up blood, stuff like that. You see that chart being drawn and stuff like that, and suddenly the idea that like, oh, Saitama's off the charts is no longer a thing. No, he's on the charts. It's just that it seems like he can magically keep scaling as needed. Certain things like that. Sheriff Lafitte says, I feel like the Marines need some hype characters. They've been looking ineffectual recently, not just Admirals, Vice Admirals, and SSG2. It's crazy how things changed after Chapter 1053. It's crazy how things changed about after 1053. Like, it's like, after 1053, we all thought that Green Bull is just, like, the nuts, and that like admirals can come in. Like people had Admiral Green Bull potentially coming in being like, could he fuck up the entire alliance? That was a discussion. Now it's just like, fuck, admirals kind of suck. I got a video coming out tomorrow. You guys check it out. It's on power scaling in One Piece. That guy Cam says Ancient Wano equals Ancient Kingdom. I have heard that thrown around before. There was something that, okay, so one thing that AJK keeps talking about, this opening the what's it called? Opening the borders of Wano theory, right? AJK keeps talking about that. I might have read that theory already, but like a while ago. So unless it's like a really recent theory, I think I might have read it already, because I've been hearing this Ancient Kingdom is Wano thing for a bit, and I thought the first theory that I read on it was really, really convincing. So maybe it's the same theory. I'll find out next week when I read it on stream. Aslan says, Morj's haircut is terrible. It's the worst. I just want him to get a normal haircut. Morj, why did you do that? The hair will... it's gonna grow back. All right. We're good, guys. Sam Ogunto Yinbo says, what's crazy is how mid the Vice Admirals are. I think Vice Admirals are exactly where they need to be. I feel like there's plenty of Vice Admirals that could give Toby Roppo like a good run for their money or something like that, right? Like, not even run for... Like, I feel like Vice... It makes sense to me in that, okay, you got Vice Admirals who are probably comparable to these Yonko officer type figures, like Toby Roppo-esque, etc. stuff. Then you've got commanders who are below admirals, right? And then admirals may or may not be below the Yonko. It's starting to look more like the Yonko might be stronger than the admirals. But then there's obviously 3 admirals, right? So that's a big deal. And you've got the fleet admiral. And for all we know, Akainu could give any of the Yonko an even fight or something like that. So, and then that's not even to mention like all that shit we might be about to get into with Im, Gorosei, Holy Knights, etc. All right, y'all. That's enough for this. Momonga, that's it. No, I mean, like, come on, like, Onigumo. Virgo was a big deal when you're telling me Virgo couldn't fuck up at least one of the Toby Roppo or something like that? Like, Smoker, I feel like Smoker's a Vice Admiral, right? Like, you're telling me Smoker can't hang with the Toby Roppo? Like, Smoker is weaker than Robin and Frankie? I don't think that's the case. The Vice Admiral, and like Smoker's not even probably like one of the strongest Vice Admirals as far as we know. So I think Vice Admirals might just be a little underrated because they often get thrown at very strong characters, like Bastille getting fucked up by Sabo, or like Whitebeard, he fucked up several Vice Admirals and stuff like that over the course of Marineford, or like Momonga and Hancock. Like, these things I don't think are really fair. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Garp, we don't count. Garp is an exception. All right, y'all. Yeah, we're gonna pick this up, I guess. Wait. Zitoroku says, I missed a super chat a while ago. Maybe Uta fruit is a lullaby fruit, makes people fall into dreams or affect them permanently. I think I talked about that a little bit. I do think I talked about that. I kind of remember speaking on the lullaby thing, but maybe I just read it in my head, forgot to read it out loud. I don't know. Maybe that might be why we've seen so little of the rest of the movie, because maybe the rest of it's like, you know, the eternal, what was it called? Infinite Tsukiyomi, like the, you know, the shit that Madara did towards the end or whatever, like that, or whoever, Obito. You know the thing they're trying to do, hypnotize everybody to go into their ideal dream or whatever? Maybe it's like that. Maybe that's what she does. So that's why they're hiding most of what happens in the movie. Caleb Brown says, long ago, my dream was to mod for all the greats in the One Piece community. Now I'm content just being part of this community and because you abuse your mods. Caleb Brown, if you didn't weird me out, I would mod you for sure. And me says, LMAO, Smoker, and Virgo would get clapped by Flying Six. Like, I don't know why you say that. Because, like, if you look back at, like, let's not underrate. Because Smoker gave Law a decent challenge. Like, people remember how it ended, which is Law winning. But it was a fight. they went back and forth for chapters. It was a fight. Law would spank the Tobiropo. And I underrate Law like shit. But Law versus the Tobiropo would be nothing. Smoker's definitely above the Tobiropo. Like, you think Smoker's below Robin? Robin beat Black Maria without too much trouble. You think Smoker's below Robin? I don't think Smoker's below Robin. Page 1 is actually, we get a perfectly good comparison, which is like, well, Sanji had the raid suit against page 1, but, remember, like, Virgo gave Sanji, like, a decent challenge. Virgo would probably have beaten Sanji. Or at least been an extreme difficulty fight if Sanji didn't bust some shit out, right? Like, people try to underplay the cracking the bones and shit, but that happened. Like, that's a fact. So, what do you want to say? Like, I don't think page 1 would have done that to Sanji. So, this is obviously Sanji before he got his Germa buffs and everything like that, which he desperately needed. Smoker below Raw? I don't think so. It just doesn't seem that way. Trent Monet, Mr. Goat. What's up, Trent? Is Trent not modded? I gotta mod Trent before the stream ends. Alright. Thanks for coming through, man. Came right at the tail end. We're wrapping up just about now. Okay, we don't got to talk about how strong Smoker is or whatever. Jose Lario says, after Sanji's body was injured by Caesar Clown. Oh, God. So now we're getting into that. How is... So you think Caesar, like, he got his legs kind of, like, cracked up a little bit first, and then Virgo just, like, finished it? Like, he loosened the jar a little bit for Virgo? I mean, sure. Even if you want to say that, fine. Let's say Sanji and Virgo would have been an even fight. In that case, yeah, I think Virgo's about as strong as a Tobiropo for sure. You also can't underrate, like, Smoker versus Law. That was a fight. Go back and read/watch that fight. Law gave Smoker more of a challenge than I imagine page 1 would, than I imagine, like, Black Maria would. So, yeah, I think Vice Admiral's easily around that level. Some of them. All right. Hype Master says, hey, Morj, I think your haircut is really cute. What your thoughts? Finally, after everybody roasting my haircut for so long, listen, the haircut's not that bad, and it will come back. All right, we're done. I needed to hear that before the stream ended.